any of you are having second thoughts, this is your last chance to speak. Very well. So I hope we're all clear on what has to be done. We need to free the hostages to deprive Toth of his advantage. Now he'll be keeping them somewhere where they can be guarded, but somewhere separate from his other men.
And where would that be?
We always kept our captives in the house on the bailey by the stables.
What if they're in their tower or somewhere else?
Then we'll have to go to the gate and try to open it. But that will take time and attract attention. So we can only do it if we know exactly how things stand. And if they sound the alarm, before we've done anything, we get out of there quick. Understood?
And leave them there?
Better a couple of hostages than a pile of corpses. Lord Capon, are you quite certain you want to engage in this action?
Quite. After all, it can't be much different from sneaking out of the upper castle in Rattay and back in every night. Besides, who else will keep this hothead from raising bloody mayhem?
Well, see to it that you do, my lord. May God guide our footsteps.
This will be something. They'll be telling stories about this for years. We'll be legends. Unless we fuck it up. Then Istvan will be telling the stories, and the joke will be on us.
We'll go first and take out the sentries. Wait here.
What are they waiting for?
Quiet, for fuck's sake.
What are they waiting for?
How should I know?
Why do I bother asking?
Oh, be quiet and watch that light on the battlements. Fuck this waiting, I'm gonna climb.
I'll put on his armor and watch this side, but there are still 2 guards on the portcullis winch to deal with. Any volunteers?
Henry will do it.
Buffoon?
Henry, then. Just make sure you keep quiet.
First, we have to find the hostages. Then we can come back and deal with the rest. Who's there? Let's not fuck it up at the 11th hour. here. All doors lead to the courtyard. All it takes is for one man to go for a piss and he'll see us.
Where's Sir Radzig and Lady Stephanie?
Lady Stephanie? She's not here. She must be held somewhere else.
Where? Where is she being held? And where's Sir Radzig?
I suppose the lady might be in her chamber. We don't know anything. They herded us here and told us not to move a muscle. What the... You thieving magpie!
Damn it all. We'll have to go back empty-handed. I really thought we could pull it off.
We're not going anywhere. Not without my father and Lady Stephanie.
And how are we meant to find them? They're not in the stables or anywhere nearby. You want to creep right inside the palace where Todd's men are everywhere?
Yes. You can't leave them in Toth's hands.
It was hard enough getting this far, but going inside is madness. What good will it do them if we get caught?
Then we mustn't get caught.
Listen, Hal, I can appreciate your stubbornness, usually. But this could cost us our heads. At least we saved those other people.
I told you, I'm not leaving here without the hostages.
If you're determined to be a stubborn ox, go right ahead. I suppose you might as well look for your sword while you're at it. No point leaving the job half done.
Save your speeches. Are you going to help me or not?
If you want to get yourself killed, you can do it alone. But before you go raising bloody mayhem, give us time to get out of here.
Come on then. Let's get the fuck out of here before they catch us. Gorva! Fuck my ass!
Fuck.
Look! I've got an arrow in my arse! See for yourself if you don't believe me!
Gorva! Fuck my ass!
Ow!
Stop telling everyone what an idiot you are. Is that all you...
The answer to my prayer.
What's the matter? Come
Just
on.
when I wanted to vent my rage.
Making it seriously.
Where could you find it? You must be here somewhere.
My ass.
All that combat.
Gorva! My ass.
Come and get it!
Making it seriously. Henry! Sorry to trouble you, but can you do something quick?
Okay, where is everyone?
Not making it seriously.
All of you, gather here, right
the alarm!
Kurwa!
Bollocks! You should have fucked off while you had the chance.
Oh, Henry! Henry, if you get me out of here, I'll stop telling everyone what an idiot you are. Run, for Christ's sake, and don't shake me so much.
That's the end.
This isn't very comfortable. Can't you stop hopping around with me? My arse is killing me. Run, for Christ's sake, and don't shake me so much. Run, for Christ's sake, and don't shake me so much. Run, for Christ's sake, and don't shake me so much.
I have to admit, we didn't do too well.
True, the shame of it. They drove us back before we even got anywhere. It's worse than if they'd killed us.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We had to give it a try. If we succeeded.
If pigs had wings... I know it troubles you, but it's not over yet. We'll rescue the hostages and hang that bastard Istvan.
It seems, Robard, that we're running out of options.
We don't have enough men to scale the walls with ladders, and we can't afford to lose any more. We can only take Talmberg by a ruse or with superior numbers. Ruses have failed, and we don't have superior numbers.
Then we are left with no choice but to build a trebuchet. To demolish my own walls. Where is Master Fafar?
He's waiting. We sent for him as soon as...
Bring him to me. Let's not waste time.
Sir Divish.
You will build me a trebuchet, Master Tobias.
Trebuchet, my lord. That's not entirely in my field of expertise.
We have to take back Talmberg.
Yes, indeed, sir, I understand that.
You are the best engineer we can rely on in the whole fiefdom.
Oh, well, thank you, my lord, but it's just that I've never built a trebuchet before. This could take some time.
Then you'd better get to it. Bernard will go over the plan of attack with you.
Oh.
Well, Master Tobias, you have much to do and little time. I will not keep you any longer.
Indeed. Of course, sir. Thank you, my lord.
How are the preparations proceeding in the other camps?
As well as can be expected under the circumstances. There are still many things that need doing, but I just don't have the time for them.
No, you don't. Henry.
Yes, sir.
I would like for you to help with the preparations in the encampments.
Gladly, sir.
Robard will brief you. That'll be all.
What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears.
God be with you, Henry.
When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Henry!
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
How are you, Henry?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Robard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
Is there anything you can tell me about Talmberg's weak points?
The truth is, Talmberg has far too few weaknesses. Who'd have thought that was something I'd come to regret?
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Istvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stuck up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
God save you, Henry.
Greetings. What do you need?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Kieser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Kieser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
He was with Sigismund.
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlen Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sasau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all.
Oh, come on. What are you trying on here?
Enter. Huh? By the horn of Joshua, you startle me. I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir, Tobias Fafar, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fafar? Tobias Fafar? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fafar has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn, I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's. But that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
Why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case, I went to Bethlen Castle.
They locked you up in Bethlen?
Not quite. It's a royal castle. They leave me to my own devices there. Frankly, this so-called banishment has been a bit of a blessing. I have peace and quiet to attend to my opus and a band of able assistants. Although I have lost quite a few of my patrons, thanks to all this unrest.
And why are you here in Sasau?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So, you see, I can't simply take my leave.
What is it you're working on, sir?
Belli Fortis. A great book of war machines and weapons. My opus magnum, my legacy. All you have seen here are but snippets of my great work. Mark my words. One day our whole world will be run by machines and inventions not yet dreamed of.
Of course. Any day now they'll plough our fields and milk our cattle.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking aloud about things for battle. Could I help you escape, perhaps?
Who says I want to?
But you said you couldn't leave, sir.
Young man, I can't leave because I gave my word I'd help with the building of the monastery here. And my word is my bond. I have no intention of sneaking away like some criminal.
Who do you work for here?
My contract is with the abbot himself, but I discussed the work details with Carol, the monastery's master builder.
Could I not just pay off the master builder for your services?
I doubt it. Carol is only interested in the construction. As long as he has the money to pay the craftsman's wages, that's all he needs.
Ah, as long as he has enough for wages, you say?
Yes. What are you thinking?
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realise that, but Sassar Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carol received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carol usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do. You really can't come with me right away?
Damn. I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's. But that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
I'll try and find some way of getting you out of here.
Look here, I don't want any trouble. You better talk to Carral, the master builder.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I need some help from Master Conrad.
Then go and talk to him.
I'm hungry. I'd like a bite.
The thing is, he's already agreed, but he'd have to go to Talmberg.
I can't consent to that. He signed a contract for building the monastery, and we pay him a pile of coin for every day he spends here.
But the conquest of Talmberg is more important for the province.
From what I hear, it's awfully important first and foremost for your lord. Sassau's always been neutral. Anyway, I take my orders directly from the abbot.
Conrad would only have to leave for a few days. Surely you can manage without him for a short while.
We might, if he didn't get himself killed there. I've given my answer. No. He stays here until the abbot says otherwise, and the abbot isn't here at the moment.
Coming.
Supposing I compensated you for his brief absence, perhaps with some coin?
What use would coin be to me if the monastery roof collapses? Then I'd be the one having to pay compensation.
Thank you for your invaluable assistance.
You're welcome.
May God reward you in kind.
Hey, Henry's
I hear you like to play dice.
Always.
God save you, Henry.
I'm glad you stopped by.
Shouldn't I? No, I didn't.
Henry, I'm glad you came. How are you, Henry?
Pour me an ale.
Finished.
Ale.
You wish.
What ale, G'day, Henry.
God, my pleasure. Here, enjoy it.
Those were my last goddamn groschen.
Here we
God
are.
be with you, Henry.
I've just realised, without that money, you'll be short of coin for Conrad's wages, won't
Here
you?
you are.
You fucker!
Help.
What a shame. But I'll gladly give you your money back,
What?
Henry, I'm glad
if you
you
allow
came.
Conrad a short sabbatical in Talmberg.
That's what you had up your sleeve from the very beginning.
Agreed then?
I'll give you 1 week.
They're after me! Sweet Jesus, I knew this day would come!
What? Who is... Carol said you can leave and...
Leave? I can't even set foot outside the door! Not now!
Please, calm down and tell me what's going on.
They're after me!
Who? Who's after you?
Sigismund's people, of course!
Why would they be after you?
Because he's never forgiven my criticisms of Nicopolis. Now he's decided to pay me back. What am I to do?
What makes you think someone's after you?
When I was on my way to Sassau, I saw Baron Pekar in Kostelitz. He was with Sigismund on the crusade, as was I. Now I've been told he was seen at the local tavern. And a stranger's been creeping around the gardens here late at night. My God, there are signs someone was trying to force the door. They're after me, Henry. The Lord preserve me. They want to kill me.
Take it easy. If someone's after you, I'll see to him. I'll have a sniff around the town or lie in wait for him.
I don't know. What if he sneaks past you?
He won't, I promise. I'll hide in the garden, and if anyone starts creeping around after dark, I'll catch him.
You will, won't you? Good, good. And be sure to hide well. If he sees you, he won't come.
God save Henry.
What do you need?
Would you be Master Pekar?
I would. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Henry, of Skalitz.
And what do you want from me, Henry of Skalitz?
To ask why you've come to Sasau.
An interrogation, then, I see. On business, of course.
And who is it you're doing business with?
Why don't you ask about my mistresses instead? My trade partners are my own private concern.
Stay away from Master Kieser.
Kieser? Conrad Kieser? Why should I want anything to do with him?
So he doesn't need to worry about you?
Worry? Good Lord, no. Why, we were friends.
Right, that'll be everything.
As the master instructs.
That's a lot. I've only got 2 hands.